one beach to another to start our second hour here on NFL Network. We go to Miami and the Dolphins because their owner, Stephen Ross, had some thoughts about what direction his team could go in this season. It is our lead block with the generic blue helmet. This is Stephen Ross. Right now, we have a great roster. There's great expectations, but we have the old injury bug. I feel like everybody does. That's my own opinion. But back to the quote. You got to make sure that that doesn't happen like last year. I think that without that, and if we stay healthy, we're certainly a contender for the Super Bowl. Stephen Ross. Okay. Kyle, your thoughts on the owner of his team thinking his team will be in New Orleans in February?
He should. Absolutely he should. They've had a couple warm-up seasons with the coach. They've done some exciting things. I don't mind the quote at all. Like, this is a team that, look, everybody says, we're trying to get to the Super Bowl this year. There's like, I don't know, eight, maybe 7 that are like, yeah, I can conceivably see that. Now, sometimes you get the crazy team, but I think the Dolphins are one of those 8, one of those 7. They're also just in that really frustrating sweet spot for fans where it's, get over the hump, climb the mountain, whatever you want, where they have these amazing, brilliant, really incredible, fast and furious seasons, and then it's just been nothing. Mm-hmm. Like that Chiefs game is one of the worst tastes of vomit in your mouth you could ever have as a fan because it was just nothing. But there's so much positive going on, and I get accused of being critical of the Dolphins. Here's my take, and I'd love to see some Dolphins highlights just so let's get fired up about the Dolphins.
Okay,
70 points. All right. My feeling on the Dolphins is always like last year they all this stuff is great, and it's candy and it's exciting and Fast and Furious is apropos because it's like one of those movies. They just come out all the time and they're fast and there's things blowing up, but like. At the end, do you really feel great about those movies? Like, are you like, oh, I kind of feel a little bit sick. Like, they're fun and everything, but like, they're not very good for me. Like, I didn't learn anything. Mm-hmm. It's the Dolphins last year felt like Instagram scrolling. You're kind of addicted to it. You can't stop looking. It's everything you like. It's everything that gives you the dopamine. Just swipe, 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 swipe. And then after you've swiped for an hour, you're just like, God, I have this horrible empty feeling inside. And that was them at the Chiefs and Arrowhead. You're going to notice that in all these highlights, and especially the 70 points against Denver, it's just beating the crap out of bad teams. Yep. And that's great. It's good that they should do that. You're not going to see a lot of highlights from quality teams. They're not putting up 70 points against the Bills. They're just not doing any of that. So is this the season where there's like when you're done afterwards and you feel like, did I read a book? Did I watch a film? Or did I just scroll IG and watch Vin Diesel blow stuff up? I hope it's the first one because it's time to change. And I think the owner is right. Let's have a little nutritive value at the end of the season for the Dolphins. That'd be cool. Yeah,
I'm with this. I mean, if you're the owner of the Miami Dolphins, of course you're going to feel this way, but he has every reason to feel this way. You talk about the Instagram scrolling. Every now and again, I think we've all done it, where you start scrolling and scrolling and you go, oh, what's this? And then you click on the page and then you go into the link. And before you know it, you're off into somewhere else. Maybe this is the year where they go off into somewhere else, and that somewhere else is deep into the playoffs. They've already gone twice now, back-to-back to the playoffs, but maybe now they're going to trail off and go even further. Like, this is a team, he should be excited about. He's got a quarterback that threw for the most yards since Dan Marino. Like, and there have been a lot of quarterbacks in between there. So, I mean, it's saying a lot. You've got Tyreek Hill, you've got Waddle, you've got Mostert, you've got all of these talented guys on your team. If not now, then when? Like, this is the time to get excited. And, it's the AFC East, too. Like, you can do it in the AFC East. I mean, tell me a team that could stop them in the AFC East.
The Bills and the Jets.
You gonna throw the Jets in there?
Sure. With Rodgers, sure. Yeah, of course.
The Jets defense is.
I don't know if they will, but those guys don't mess around.
Okay, yeah. All right. I might buy that. Maybe. The Bills for sure. Yeah. But I mean, that's it. Like, they have a legitimate shot. That's why he feels that way.
You guys have kids older than I do, so you've done this before. I'm trying to teach my oldest how to ride a bike. She still has her training wheels on. She still has her training wheels on. And you're trying to breathe confidence into just think about if the training wheels weren't there and focus on that middle tire. Well, she's in a parking lot the other day because you go to an empty parking lot. It's like teaching a 16-year-old how to drive a car. She's on a bike. She gets into this gully where all of a sudden she's been pedaling, but her training wheels are the only things touching the sides, and her wheels have no traction. So now she's just pedaling, and she's looking at me like, why aren't I going anywhere? I'm like, shoot. You just learn the lesson of the fact that you still have training wheels on, and if you pedal and those wheels are down, your tires are going to go nowhere fast. And that's how I feel about the Miami Dolphins. Like, they're pedaling, they still have their training wheels on. All of a sudden, that back tire gets lifted up, and they're like pedaling. They're looking around like, wait, we haven't gone anywhere in December and into January, and they have to keep pedaling the way they start the season all the way through mid to late January. Otherwise, we got nothing with this team.
Well, it's like you're going to try to teach your daughter how to ride a bike in the snowstorm at 5 degrees. No, it's really, really hard. It's the perfect metaphor because the Dolphins need to take the training wheels off.
Yes.
It's time to just go. Teaching someone how to ride a bike is so difficult. It's not only mentally frustrating, it's physically really, really. I mean, what you got to do basically is you got to like hold the back of their seat and by the shoulder, and then you just kind of like run them around, but the lower back is going, and like you're getting old, and then eventually you got to. They keep saying, "Don't let me go, don't let me go," and McDaniel's got to just let them go. But the problem is sometimes they like fall on their face and skin their knees, and then they never trust you again, and then they're going to a therapist couch. So like, it's a difficult thing, really difficult.
You know the best way to do it, though, right? The best way to teach your kids to ride a bike is take the training wheels off and get them to get one of those ones where they're just
the Strider.
The Strider, right?
I got it.
And you're just going, you're
doing your feet, the Strider.
And you work on your balance. And I think that's where they are now. They've been working on their balance, right? You take those bad boys off, now all of a sudden they're off and going.
Now, and
Mike
McDaniel
can do it.
They also bought them like the most expensive bike ever.
That is true.
That is true. And the fastest bike.
Yeah.
So like maybe they get in there and it's like they got all the bell and they got the things that fall down the spokes and the basket and the banana seat if they still do those, I don't know. But then once that bike gets going, it's like more like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So when you fall off it like they did in Arrowhead, it's ugly.
Yeah.